ever feel that your struggle is less against the power-mad elites than it is against your own people? You know who I'm talking about. Those brain-addled mask-wearing friends and family members of yours who refuse to see or acknowledge the truth. That porn-watching neighbor you exchange greetings with who responds with sarcasm when you comment on it or bring up the subject of politics. That coworker you sometimes attempt to educate while simultaneously remaining cautious, lest they report you to human resources. Are they your real enemies in life? You follow alternative news sites and others. You've spent countless hours reading, researching, analyzing, and applying critical thought, as well as praying. You're up to date on the state of the world and the endless chain of lies and hoaxes that seems to have been perpetuated on the people of literally every nation. Yet, when you bring up these subjects with the people you know, they stare back at you with blank faces. Their eyes aglaze. You can almost hear their thoughts. He's a nutcase. The family member that whispers behind your back tells your parents, siblings, and cousins you've lost your mind. That friend that stops returning your calls and emails. The neighbor and coworker that go out of their way to avoid you. Are they your real enemies in life? Everyone you pass is wearing a mask. Some are wearing 2 masks. Some are wearing 2 masks, a face shield, and gloves. Some are driving alone in their cars wearing a mask and a face shield. You pass by businesses where you live, and every single one, without exception, has a sign at the entrance requiring you to wear a mask in order to enter. Every single one has footprints painted on the floor telling you exactly where to stand. Every single one is filled with mask-wearing idiots, dutifully following instructions like obedient little puppies. Are they your real enemy? Now, hypothetically, if others only knew as much as you, the entire virus hoax would be not happening. The concept of stolen elections would not have been allowed to happen. Life, as difficult as it is, would still be much simpler and easier than it is today. You realize with a dash of irony that if others only knew as much as you, that their lives could also be much simpler and easier. All of the complaints, troubles, and challenges that are presently associated with COVID-19 would go away. Yet sadly, they stubbornly refuse to research, see, or acknowledge the truth. Indeed, they embrace every falsehood. Are they your real enemies in life? It's been over 11 months now, and I'm still waiting for someone to stop me on the street when I'm in town and ask me why I'm not wearing a mask. Countless people wearing masks. Countless people in cars wearing masks. Not one person has expressed an ounce of curiosity. Not one person has seen me and said to themselves, he's not wearing a mask. Why am I wearing one? Or maybe they have, but then either fear, stupidity, or a combination of both has prevented them from exploring the situation further and applying an iota of critical thought. How many of you have sent someone an article from an alternative website, tried to share information? What was their reaction? Of all the articles you shared, of all the things you post online, what is the percentage of people that respond? Jesus said, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded by one who should rise from the dead. There is still a virtual avalanche of information available out there, even with the current state of censorship, deplatforming, and book banning. And still, the vast majority of people refuse to research or see or acknowledge the truth. Are they your true enemies in life? St. Thomas Aquinas considers that each of our acts, however insignificant they may be, are subject to moral judgment, whether we are aware of it or not, whether we manage to discern it or not. While it is not for us to judge our neighbors, internally we can. However, in the light of their known habitual behavior and certain knowledge of fallen human nature, we can hypothesize about the choices they make to accept the lies of the official narrative and even participate in its dissemination. Two massive facts determine the behavior of the world today. The first is the almost total disappearance of faith and the absence of any authentic moral fiber for several generations. The behavior in the face of the lie of the criminal state must be understood in the same way. The stupidity often invoked by editorialists rejecting themselves any morality, intervening only sometimes and on an accidental basis,